Hello everyone, welcome you all to Indian Love with Aruna channel. I am Aruna here, and today I am going to discuss with you the intellectual property law. We will know what is intellectual property law, so the kinds of intellectual property, the basic concept of intellectual property, the nature or the character of intellectual property, and the origin of intellectual property, and why it is called intellectual property. We will know about these 6 things. First is, what is intellectual property law? The law that protects the intellect or intellectual property is called intellectual property law. So, which law protects the intellect or the intellectual property? This law called the intellectual property. And for example, we can say copyright law and patent law or trademark law, etc. Copyright law protects the copyright of musician, authors, and others one. Patent law protects the inventions, and trademark law protects the inventor's rights. Then we will know the concept of intellectual property law. Now the question is, what is intellectual property? Actually, intellectual property is intellectual work which is produced by the human brain is called intellectual property, like industrial work, musical work, and inventions. I'm gonna discuss about the character of intellectual property. The character of intellectual property is intangible in nature, or it can be say the nature of intangible property or the nature of intellectual property. So it is intangible in nature. That means we can feel the intellectual property, but we cannot touch the intellectual property. For example, I can say we can feel the music or we can hear the music, but we cannot touch the music. Why? Intellectual property is a property, or intellect how is a property. So the person, suppose a person who creates intellect or who create an intellectual piece of work, he can sell it, he can mortgage it, or he can purchase it. That's why it is called intellectual property. That's why it is called property, because it can be sold, it can be purchased, or it can be mortgaged by the person who makes a intellectual work, or who makes a piece of work which is related by the intellect. Some basic concept about intellectual property. A person who makes intellectual property, it is his or her exclusive rights. No one can use his intellectual property without his consent. Industrial property law divided into 2 heads. First one is industrial property law, and second one is copyright law. Industrial property law includes patent, trademark, and industrial design, and the copyright law includes the musical work, the dramatic work, the sound work, and the artistic is the origin and development of intellectual property. The Statute of Monopoly 1624 and the Statute of British Anne 17,010 are seen as the origin of patent law and the copyright law respectively, which is established by the intellectual property law. The period of 19th century is known as the Industrial Revolution, but it is not only Industrial Revolution, it is also includes the scientific matter, the economic matter, and the artistic matter also. So this is all for today. How was the video? Please tell me in the comment box. See you in the next video. Bye bye.